It's just truly such a pleasure to be with all of you today. And I want to say a special thank you to Laura for the songs that are always about love, because what else makes everything work? What else fuels us to try harder? What else makes our heart expand? And so I know that today I need to talk to you about trust. And in this world, particularly in these last weeks, it may seem particularly difficult to trust that the right thing will happen, that the world will recover, that people's hearts will recover. And yet this is the journey. This is why we are all here, to figure it out, to figure out how to bring love in the world to stay, not just for a moment or a day or an hour, but to stay in the balance that brings new possibilities to the earth, that brings new possibilities to spirit when the earth is more open. And it is always interwoven with trust. So I ask you, what are you doing here? What made you click on your computer or walk through these doors after a drive, perhaps a long drive? Something in you had the trust to know that you are in the right place, that your spirit needed something this day or this year or every time you interact with this place, whether the place is in the airwaves on technology or here in the physical place. Something in you had the trust to say yes when it popped up, that it was the day, the moment. And along the way here, or in every day of your life, think about how much you have to trust to exist. You go to your market and you trust that there will be food there, even when the supply might be erratic. You trust that something will be there that is important enough that you go. You trust that when you drive your cars here, that others will follow the same directions that you are, that will stay on the right side of the road. That is all trust. You put your key in the lock of your door and you trust that it will open. So why, my friends, is trust so hard for us in a more conscious place? For all of it that allows us to experience love more fully is about the trust within, the trusting of ourselves, the trusting of ourselves as connected to every other living thing in the universe of our understanding. And why is that where we always have that little bump, the hesitation to fully embrace, to let ourselves feel? Are we afraid? I think perhaps all of us would answer yes. And that is also part of the journey, understanding that the fear blocks that which we seek more than anything. Our souls long for the experience of love that it has always known, but which the physical world can mute, can dampen, as we forget to listen to those around us, to our spirit helpers, to our own internal voice that says, yes. And so, my friends, I ask again, why are you here? For I believe the answer is you are here because you were listening to that trust within. But what other opportunities are you missing? Because you could be listening a little more closely. And I give you these examples of your everyday lives to show you that you are more practiced than you realize. That if you perhaps sat and recounted, as I have tried to do for you, all of the circumstances in which you already trust so fully without thinking, then perhaps that will help your heart open a little more to others and to yourself. Now, I certainly hope if you go so far as to do a list of all the ways in which you trust, that it does not overwhelm you and make you rethink all of that, or make you feel that you cannot operate so smoothly because you never thought about it as trust before. But I invite you to go into that other direction and accept the power of how much trust with which you already operate. in the world, and extend that same trust to yourself, to allow yourself to more fully feel the love of the universal life force, the love of your brothers and sisters next to you, your friends, your associates. Is that not the same thing as was offered to us in the perspective about nature? Is it not the same thing as the natural law that guides us all? Yes, my friends, it is. You are a part of nature. You can allow yourself to feel those same rhythms, to accept yourself with unconditional love, to accept those around you with unconditional love for who and what they are. Feel the possibility if judgments fall away, for we all carry them. But if we practice what we already know, that it is possible to live in trust, that indeed we are already doing it, then it allows us to acknowledge the potential even more. If we can see ourselves truly, or think that we see ourselves truly as connected to all, then we must acknowledge that we are part of nature. We must then accept that we too can flow as smoothly, can blossom as fully as a tree in the springtime, living into its purpose. Yes, my friends, you too can live into your purpose in the same way as that beautiful tree. It is offering us a lesson of how to open our hearts, to stop judging ourselves, to stop judging others, and simply accept that we all have a purpose, whether or not you agree. But is it not the gift that happens that when you accept someone for who they are, the agreement does not matter, for you have dropped that condition. You simply reorder your own life and your own choices and your own ability to live in your purpose according to what you see and how you accept. And so as we do this, individually and together, how you are able to answer my question cannot help but change. My question, what are you doing here? You will be able to answer it with more consciousness, more awareness of your choice to take a step, to take another step to grow into your purpose. For all of us here in the human life have the opportunity, if we choose to act on it, always a choice. But if we choose to act, there is more love for all. We are not watching a faucet that drips a little bit at a time, but as though we have opened up the faucet to flow freely, to nurture us, to allow us to grow. How wonderful a condition would that be? Can you not imagine how the world could be different, would be different, if more of us embraced this journey? That it is not simply, yes, I will go there because it feels good, but yes, I will go there in partnership with my spirit friends. I will open my heart to learn and grow, and then I will consider what I have learned, and I will walk differently in the world. For walking differently does not have to be that big explosion of transformation. The transformation comes in the everyday moments, but you must be an active participant. You must take the time to reflect and to make choices. So when I ask you again, or perhaps the thought comes to your mind many weeks after, what am I doing here? You will be able to answer with that awareness that it makes a difference. You will be able to feel, as you ask the question, the opening of your heart to the flow of nature. You will be able to feel a little more in alignment with your purpose. And each time one of us does that, my friends, we literally change the world. Again, it will not happen in a burst. It will not be a revolution. It will not be an overnight occurrence where you wake up one morning and all is different. But it will be when that moment comes, the shift of all that is different. You will look back and say, I helped this, because each moment I tried to do my best to accept, to love, and to feel into the power of my own soul connected to all that there is. And imagining the world so much more love, so many more people living as that tree, accepting our true purpose, not fighting against it, not fighting each other, but simply embracing the possibility, the potential, and above all, feeling the love that is already there for us. My friends, it already exists. Everything that I am talking about already exists. But what my invitation is to all of you is say yes and remember that it is your actions that allow your own journey to unfold. And so I know many of you are already reconsidering how you might answer the question of what are you doing here? Ask yourself it, not just about a Sunday, but about each place where you put energy. And if it is not feeding your soul purpose, you have the choice to reconsider that. You have the choice to realign and stretch farther into your purpose. And so I hope that my words have been helpful to you, but more than anything, that you see it as a grand opportunity to feel the beauty, to feel the love, to love yourself enough to embrace everything else around you. And again, my friends, that is how we change the world. That is how more love and more peace can exist here on earth. It is the adventure that we dreamed of. It is the grand opportunity. It is the reason why we are all here, to transform the earth, to transform moment by moment, to allow for a better balance, the ultimate balance of spirit, the spiritual realm, and humanity working together for the good of all. God bless you.